This exercise is the med ball reaction drill.
React, get there, good, bring it back.
It's a great way for NFL linebackers to train side-to-side quickness and agility. Preston's gonna stand behind me about 5 yards in a good athletic position with his butt down, chest up, and shoulder blades back. As I roll the ball, he reacts, he scoops the ball up and brings it back to me. Side to side, keeping good posture, picking the ball up and bringing it back to me every time.
The med ball drill is just basically in a football position, just trying to build your stamina and to build quickness. So it's a great way to get back in football shape and get ready for the season.
The next drill is a deflection drill specific for football. It works on hand-eye coordination and reaction. There's essentially 3 moves that Preston will work on. The first one is a high block using the outside of his forearms. All right, with the pool noodles, you'll come up around, try to touch his shoulders. The second is a low block. The noodles come down. The very last one is when he forms a sprint, is you're coming straight at his shoulders, he clears the noodles to the side, sprints around me, follows through with a rip.
Here at Ignition, we use hand-to-hand combat at least twice a week. You need active hands in the game of football with pass rush and taking on blocks. So it's a great way of getting your hands better each day.
This exercise is a depth jump to sprint. Boo, get there, get there, get there, get there, break down. This is a great drill to train deceleration, acceleration, and also reaction. What Jeremy's gonna do, he's gonna step up on the box, his feet are parallel. What he's gonna do from here, he's gonna step off with his right foot, stick, decelerate in a good athletic position with his butt down, chest up, and shoulders back. From there, he's gonna buzz his feet, go. And blue, gonna react to the color I call out and break down in a good athletic position once again.
For me, especially as a running back, it works on deceleration, acceleration, change of direction, and especially reaction. Whether that's just catching a little check down and just having to burst away from a linebacker, or rather just catching a ball, a swing, whatever it may be, helps me with that, and especially just the impact of landing and then bursting again.
Boom, get there, get there, get there, get there, break down.
The drill that Julius is about to execute now is going to be in a prone push-up position. Again, still utilizing the FitLight reaction technology to, again, create a reactive environment. And anytime you're in a reactive environment, you got to use cognition. And a lot of times we miss that in our workouts. So I always try to make sure I implement a lot of cognitive function in our workouts. Okay, we're going to speed the lights up so that they're off and on a little bit quicker than the movement laterally. And in a push-up position, he's going to react to the light he sees by swiping his hand over. You ready? Set. 10 lights. Be quick.
The biggest part of the push-up exercise for me is just stability. What you have to do is you have to be able to maintain your weight on 3 points, 1 hand, 2 feet, while moving this hand as quick as possible. So when that light goes off, you can't really tell, but everything on my core has to stabilize on that right hand to swipe with the left and vice versa. So for me, I mean, it's a very mental exercise as well as the stability one, because you have to have complete concentration when you're looking at doing the hand speed lights. I mean, the difference between 0.3 seconds and 0.25 seconds is it's so easy to have a higher time if you're not being completely locked in and focused. So not only am I creating core stability, I'm also making sure that I'm able to mentally focus and react as quick as I can for 10 to 15 seconds, which, as everybody knows, happens on the football field a lot.
All right, this drill is particular for the cornerback. It's called the sit-down squat. You sit down in the chair, keep your chair straight as you back paddle. Keep your feet under your armpits as you back paddle. So it's like a control, but you got some cones on the side to keep you in the middle. Drive. Finish.
It's a nice little drill to help a cornerback maintain his posture while he's back paddling, make sure he's staying low, make sure he has good knee and ankle bend to stay in front of the receiver. I believe everything works together as a family. Your core, the quads, your feet. You have to make sure everything is up to par.
All right, this particular drill right here to work on the DBs, how to stabilize the receivers on the line, the offensive line. All you're doing is punching each receiver. Each one of these cones is the receiver. The black is the release cone. So we're gonna punch each cone, then release at the end.
I'm focused on staying low, making sure my eyes are low, make sure my eyes are at the midpoint of the receiver body, make sure my hand placement is always perfect, because I don't want to hit a receiver on the outside of the shoulder, because he can easily knock my hand down. I want to make sure I get in a nice position at the pec so I can control the receiver where I want him to go.
Okay, so this next drill is sometimes use it as a preparation, like a warm-up, and a lot of times use it as a training drill itself. The main thing it's doing is working on foot mechanics. So especially from a defensive back standpoint, your ability to absorb force, accept body weight, and most importantly, redirect that force all originates at the toe joints and the ankle joint. So we have a whole back low walk sequence where you can micro progress the intensity of those concepts of absorbing, accepting, and redirecting the force. So the first one we're gonna do is just make them individual. Back low walk sequence, make them individual. So all we're gonna do is get that low, deep bending position, trunk and spine tight. We're gonna step and recover. Step and recover. Now we're gonna do the exact same motion, but now we're gonna jump into the step. So jump into the step. Now we're gonna go continuous slow. So remember, this is not simulating a back pedal. It's almost simulating like a power pedal where he's gonna be jumping into every step, but there's gonna be no pausing. This is gonna be a continuous motion. So now we're getting into that redirection of force. So we get set, deep knee bend, and just jump every step, jump. That's it, we're trying to maximize the distance, good. And jog the recovery. So from a defensive back standpoint in the NFL, how does this help your game?
Man, like that back pedal is so important, man. I have to get my legs strong. All that back pedal, it helps me stay in my back pedal. It helps me stay when I'm pressing these big receivers. But also, when you have strong legs, it helps with the fourth quarter. I'm always talking about the fourth quarter. Everything you do, it helps me still stay explosive and strong in the fourth quarter. And that's important.
The first pull exercise we use is a slosh pipe march walk. In the slosh pipe, there's water inside of it. So when he brings it overhead, it's gonna bring that upper body stability in it. And as he's marching in the pull, that's gonna bring that lower body stability into it, which altogether incorporates a great core exercise in the off season. And now we're bringing the high knee march into it, which is bringing that lower body instability into the pull, which altogether will have to incorporate your core. If you're not utilizing your core here, he's gonna be imbalanced all over the place.
The biggest thing when you're in the pool is focusing on your technique and form. The water will change the way you move. So in this instance, the slosh pipe march, making sure you're keeping the slosh pipe above your head, locked out with shoulder stability. But then it's your legs, making sure that you keep that proper technique on your march, because it's a little bit tougher through the water.
And one of the pull-specific workouts we're gonna speak about today is the lateral movement with a stick and then the forward movement with a stick. What this drill brings with the lateral movement and a stick, it's gonna bring that stability issue underneath the water, as well as the forward movement with a stick and hold brings that instability issue underneath the water as well. Here, stick, here.
This is a fun drill with the stability under the water. I mean, for us in route running, it's about being able to put your foot in the ground and change direction. And you can only go out and run routes on the turf so many times before that begins to wear on your body. So to be able to be in the pool and put your foot in the ground, get that nice stick and hold with proper technique, it's a great way to become a better route runner.
We're about to run 10 of these hills with 15-pound weight vest on, get these done. This isn't a fancy workout. This isn't anything you can't do. Anybody can find the hill, run up it, and push yourself to the limit. So that's what we're about to do. No rest for the first 5, take a rest between, and then finish it off with 5 hard ones. No rest. Let's get it going. Go. Make sure you run it with good form. You don't want to overstride and pull your hamstring or anything like that. So you want to keep your toes and your shins at a nice angle and just push through.
First drill we're gonna do is a strength endurance and a power endurance drill. Now the slide board is a fairly popular mode of training, especially for hockey players. I'm gonna do a slight variation that's gonna be very specific to running backs. We are gonna try to load 2 important concepts. One is the angles. The angles of the hip, angles of the knee, angles of the ankle. We want deep, deep angles, and we want a quick eccentric to concentric load. So coming in and out of those deep ankles as quickly as possible. And the second concept, the most important, is gonna be the shoulder lean. So when you watch Le'Veon do this specific version of the slide board, you're gonna see his shoulder dip. The more you can dip the inside shoulder to get that power angle, the lower your center mass is gonna be when you're in and out of your cuts. Remember, it's a muscular development that we're gonna get that's going to progress and take this drill and actually transfer it to football. One thing to keep in mind that, especially at this level, we don't want to do too much pounding on the joints, pounding on the knees to simulate running back cuts and things like that. The main thing we got to do is get the muscles prepped. And even if you're a younger athlete looking to maximize your cutting, it cannot be understated enough that it's not just the technique and the repetitive action of trying to make your cuts and make your cuts. You've got to develop the muscles. So we got to get strong in the weight room. We got to develop the power in the weight room. We got to transfer it out here to get the power endurance and strength endurance capabilities of the muscles in these low angles. That's going to simulate very similar to how he's going to come in and out of his breaks.
I love this drill basically because it gives you a nice 15 to 20 second workout. It kind of simulates a play. You run your play, you take your rest, so we do a couple of sets of those, burns your hips, calves. I'm still out of breath, so I barely can talk.